Hello, welcome in. I'm Ohi Plays. My name is Jacob, and this is Pluto. This is my most recent island, Pluto. And now I know what you're maybe thinking. I thought this was a purple outer space planet island, and it is. But if you've been following along on my socials, I've been posting this island in these logs from my character Jacob here as the youngest astronaut in the world, logging his days on this mysterious planet that he's crashed his rocket space on. But then after a while of posting, I revealed that Jacob has actually just been playing in his backyard in his tree house, and he's actually just a normal little kid who lives in the town of Pluto. So right now we're in the town section of the island, but you'll get to see the planet of Pluto in a little bit. But I'm really excited to share this island with everyone and to share a dream address again. It's been a while since I've shared a dream address for one of my islands, so I'm excited to be able to do that again, and you all are able to come and actually visit and see it and explore for yourselves. So I'll have the dream address down at the bottom of the screen as well as in the description of this video if you'd like to come along with me or you'd like to go visit on your own later on, what have you. But let's see. First things first, every single design that you'll see on this island, every code you'll see I did myself. Of course, if you come in Dream, you can check out all of the codes on the portal. I'll have the creator code on here on the screen as well if you'd like to go check out the codes yourself. But I did all of the codes, and let's just get into it. So let's take a look. Oop, not a filter. Okay, not what I meant to do. Let's take a look at the map really quick before we start looking around. So you can see here at the front of the island, I have this smaller section. That's the town that we're currently in. And then the back section is the actual planet area that we'll get to later. Let's see. So for villagers, you'll notice I only have 8 villagers because I knew I wanted to make the town part of the island pretty small. I didn't want to have a ton of villager houses, and 8 is the minimum amount of villagers you can have and still unlock terraforming. So that's why I only have 8 villagers, but I managed to get them all to be, Kidcore, space themed. So we've got Stitches, Ribbot, Ruby, Kit Kat, Cephalobot, Petrie, Ione, and Agent S. So those are the villagers. Let's just get into it. So when you visit, one thing you should know is that before I want you to explore the town first. And there are a few items dropped around the town that you'll want to grab before you head over to the planet section. So I'll point those out in this video, but I think they're kind of hard to miss. But we've got our first one right here, which is a star net, so you can pick that up. I'll talk a little bit about why I left that here for the tour later, but we've got the town. So let's go to the left. You see all these codes. I added little space themed designs to this road code set. I never know what to say with these things, but I didn't really decorate the beaches. I kept them I kept them completely bare, but I did decorate a little bit in the front on the edge of the town. So there's that. Okay, and then here we have another one of our items right outside the museum. We have the space helmet, so you'll want to pick that up as well. And we have the museum here. So I kind of turned the museum into, you guessed it, a space museum. I kind of created this lore in my head that this town has the history of this town is tied in some way to space exploration. Whether that's, I don't know, did a famous astronaut live here? This is his hometown, or maybe I had the idea actually after I had finished the island, and I was like, oh, if I had thought of this earlier, I could have done that, but whatever. I had the idea that maybe like a crater like landed here one day, and like, I don't know. So there's some sort of history of the town of Pluto tied into space exploration and outer space, and so that's why the museum is space themed, and that's why my character Jacob has become so like obsessed with outer space and so interested in it, because it's like baked into this small town that he lives in, which is also why like I included little space details in all of the like, you know, the sidewalks and stuff. It's like baked into the town's infrastructure even, you know, like it's just such a part of the history and what makes this town unique. So yeah, so there's a space museum. Over here we've got nooks. I don't really have much to say about nooks over here, but then you also will want to go around here and check out Abel's. Right in front of Abel's we've got a spacesuit, so you'll want to grab that as well. But yeah, I didn't realize, like, I didn't know if I was going to be able to place all of these buildings so close to each other, but you actually could. And I kind of like how it feels so, like, I don't know, like town square, like center of the town. Yeah, I don't know. I really had a lot of fun making this part of the island, which is funny because the whole point of this island and the like idea, right, was to create a space island, this like turn the island into a planet. But I really enjoyed making the town section, and it kind of made me want to do a full like Kidcore town island at some point. So who knows, maybe I'll get around to that, but I don't know. I also have ideas for like 6 different islands, so you never know. But that is in the back of my mind, so maybe one day I'll do that. So then right here in front of my house, we've got the last item you'll want to pick up, which is these space boots. We're going to get to my house last. Let's go check out the rest of the town first, but this is my house right here by the entrance. I also really liked, sorry, I'm backtracking. I also really liked how close the entrance was to the resident services. Like when I got this map, I don't remember. I knew I wanted it to be close. This might have been only the second like re-roll for island maps, and I was like, it's perfect. And yeah, so I went with it. And I don't know. I like how it turned out. I like when the resident services is so close. Not always, of course, but I don't know. Just generally, I do tend to like that. Anyway, moving on. We've got the rest of my villager houses. So this is the other thing. I didn't do Happy Home Paradise on this island. Ooh, I don't like that view. I didn't do Happy Home Paradise on this island because honestly, I just couldn't be bothered. And I decided that I liked how the houses looked. So none of the villager houses are decorated, so you don't need to bother like going inside them. They're all the standard houses. But I did decorate their yards and, you know, kind of try to make it feel like this little suburban neighborhood vibe. And yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I had a lot of fun doing this part. This is probably my favorite yard that I did, with this little like lawnmower. It was fun to use the clacker cart as like a lawnmower in this like overgrown yard. I don't know. I think it's really cute, and I enjoyed doing it a lot. So I did decorate the backyards. I had to fit everything in this little front section. I had to put some of the houses in the backyards of other houses, like you'll see. And in my mind, I tried to justify it by I'm like, oh, they're like storage sheds, or like, I don't know, you know, like a storage shed, like what's the word? Like, I don't know. I can't think of the word. Like a storage shed. We'll just go with that. But like, you know what I mean? Something that would make sense, but I don't know. To varying degrees of success. I don't love the backyards, but they are decorated. So just pay more attention to the front yards. This is probably the best backyard I did. Actually, no, I lied. There's one I like more. But anyway, it's all about the front yards on this island. So just worry about that. Okay, so then yeah, we've got this one. Not too much going on here, TBH. See, this is what I mean. This one was hard to do. In my mind, I was like, okay, this could be like a little tree house or a playhouse. But I don't know. To be honest, I don't love that backyard. So just like, don't think about it too hard, okay? Again, just focus on the front yards. Oh my gosh, there we've got Aoni chilling by the river. But yeah, at this river mouth, I just put this little lookout spot. I thought it was like a cute idea, you know, have a little place to look out on the ocean. If this were like actually a little coastal town, which I don't know, in my mind it's not really, but that is the game. Everything takes place on an island, so I don't know, you kind of just have to lean into it sometimes. But then here we have the last two houses. Yeah, a little basketball going on outside, the dog, you know, yeah. And then let's see, let's check out the backyard. Yeah, this is actually maybe my favorite backyard. This feels more like, I don't know, it feels simple, natural, real. Maybe this being like all blue too kind of makes it feel like it could be like a storage shed to me. I don't know. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it too hard. But yeah, that's the town of Pluto. Let's head back to my house and check it out. Yeah, so like I said, this is the last thing you'll want to pick up, those space boots. So you'll want to have all of those items with you before you head to the planet, which we'll get to. But yeah, let's check out the house. So I did some like minimal decorating inside the house. I wanted it to feel just kind of like a standard, like kind of a classic suburban neighborhood, like, you know, home. So we've got kind of the simple blue living room here, not too much to write home about, no pun intended. But it's like there's a little bit of clutter. You can tell like a kid probably lives here as well. It's not completely like, I don't know. Anyway, let's go to the right first. Let's check out the kitchen. To be honest, the kitchen is my least favorite room in this house. I had like a vision in my mind of what I wanted it to be, and then when I like set out to like actually decorate it, it just like wasn't happening. I was like a little burnt out of interiors, and I just kind of said, whatever, this is it. So like, it's not much. It actually kind of really reminds me of one of my friends growing up, their family like kitchen, which is interesting. But yeah, I don't know. It's cute. It's fine. It's all right. Let's just be honest. It's not my favorite, so we won't spend too much time here. But I did decorate it, okay? But now we'll get on to some of the better rooms. So let's go upstairs first. We'll save the best for last. So upstairs, I wanted to turn it into like, I don't know, you know, like a lot of like suburban homes have like a bonus room, maybe like above the garage, which this would be above the garage. There's a garage downstairs that we'll get to. So I don't know, it's kind of, that was the idea of like a little bonus room or playroom. And so then I actually, as I started decorating it, it really ended up, I kind of based it off of my neighbors growing up that I used to go over and play at their house a lot. Like they were right across the street. They had a room like so similar to this that was just like a bonus room, but it was like storage, and it was also, they had an old like retro TV that had a Nintendo 64 on it that we would play video games on. And you know, there was also an exercise bike, so like their mom would come up here and exercise sometimes, but it was also like storage. I don't know, it's like this weird mix of like extra storage, but also like, you know, it's actually used for stuff. So it's a little bit of a mess, but it's also a real like lived in space. I don't know, but that was the idea with this. So yeah. But now we'll get to the really good parts of the house. My favorite two rooms, the garage and then my room. So let's go out here to the garage first. Let's see, what do we have in here? So yeah, I did this garage and I wanted it to be kind of cluttered, but also like, you know, again, like it utility, it's actually used for something. Here we've got like all of these. I imagine this is like, oh, we went grocery shopping and we got to take the groceries in. They just got out of the car. But I also wanted this to be like a space that you can actually use. So there is like the, you know, the workbench here. And the idea with this was kind of like this back area is where My character, Jacob, and maybe his dad are working on all of the like toys and things that he's playing with, the forts that he's making, and the like cardboard rocket ships, etc. And I mean, it's honestly kind of inspired by like me and my dad growing up. I used to play a lot in the backyard and stuff, and a lot of make believe. And my dad works in construction, so he like knows, how to make a lot of things, how to use a bunch of different tools and whatnot. So like he would make things for me. Like, I don't know, let's see, I had like some, wooden shields, like a sword and stuff like that. I would make forts and things, and my dad would like help me, and I'd hang out in the shed while he was making them, and he'd like show me what he was doing. I would help like decide like the design and tell him how I wanted things to look and like paint them, and yeah, so it was kind of something that like I did with my dad growing up, and I don't know, I thought it was like a nice little detail to include, to make it feel a little more realistic and like, I don't know, a little more personal. And now we're gonna get to the best room of the house, which is my bedroom here in the back. It's very kidcore, very colorful. You'll see some of those cardboard things I was talking about that maybe Jacob made with his dad. So yeah, here it is. I don't know, I just really like this room. I was like really happy with how it turned out. I love how playful and colorful and cluttered it is. I love, love, love clutter in this game. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have too much to say about it. Just that I love it, and I think it's so cute. Not to toot my own horn, but toot toot. Yeah. Oh, and I really liked this like star code I made for the bedding. It's also my character's phone case in the game. Yeah, and then I made this art that's on the walls over here as well. One was based off of display art I saw at an IKEA randomly one day, and then the other one is based off of a piece of art by Katie Ben on Instagram. But they were just like perfect for this theme, very, very kidcore outer space vibes. So I had to make them for my room. All right. So that's really almost everything. That's almost everything here in the town. We've got one more place to go, but then we're really getting to the main part of this island. So after you've collected all of those things, which let's go over it again, you're going to want your space boots, your spacesuit, your space helmet, and your star net. Once you've gotten all of those things, you're going to want to head to the backyard. So there are two ways to go to the backyard. You can come around the front. There's a little way over here. Or you can come from the side over here. There's an entrance there. You can see marked by this little star fragment. But let's go from the front. So you come around here, and then this is the backyard. This is honestly maybe... maybe this might be my favorite thing I've ever built in this game, TBH. I don't know. I love making tree houses. I made a ton of tree houses back in the day, even before the 2.0 update with the ladders. I had a bunch of different tree houses on Ladonia, but this is my favorite one I've done so far. And I don't know. It feels like such a real backyard. It feels like, I don't know. It just feels so real, and it's so cute. I love it. I love the standee. It feels like, a little kid is plays back here, and I don't know. I was just really proud of it, and I had a lot of fun making it. So this is one of my favorite things I've ever done. But like I said, you'll want to come to the backyard. You're going to want to go in the treehouse, and then you're going to want to take this pipe. But first, hold on. I want to change. Oh. Didn't mean to go down the stairs. I want to change. So yeah, so once you've collected all your things, you can put on your spacesuit as well, and then you can head to outer space. And here we are. Okay. So yeah, like I said at the beginning, and like you saw at the clip at the beginning, this is where Jacob crashed his rocket ship. and landed on this mysterious planet. And so, yeah, this is it. Let's, again, the filter. Let's really quick look at the map. I put the rocket crash here in the middle. I'll actually also put the map that I drew for this island on the screen as well. If you want to reference that, you can also check it out on Instagram if you're visiting and want to like look at the map while you're exploring to make sure you don't miss anything. There's not like a ton of places to go to, but all of the main areas of note are marked on that map. But I wanted to put the like place that you start in the center so that it was easy, like wherever you're exploring, to know how to get back. So yeah, so that's where we are. And yeah, again, I did all of these codes. I'll put them on the screen. Yeah, I had so much fun making this island. I don't know. It just like really made me happy. I really wanted to do a like truly like kidcore island again, because I hadn't really done one that was like straight up just like I'm doing kidcore since Ladonia. And I don't know. I kind of wanted to get back to my roots, feel something again, you know? So I don't know. I knew I wanted to do something kidcore, and then I don't even remember where the idea came from. Just one day I had this idea of doing a planet as well, and then I just really ran with it from there, and here we are. So yeah, so let's explore. Let's see. Let's go. I want to start over this way. We'll come back to all of these other areas. I'm kind of going around some things because I want to start here. Yeah, so this is my base. This is like a cardboard fort. So in my mind, like after he crashed, you know, he's on this strange planet he knows nothing about. He has no way to get home. His rocket ship has crashed. So like, what is he going to do? He's got to have somewhere safe to be. I don't know anything about the environment, like what kind of creatures might be here. So I had to make someplace safe, and there was tons of cardboard and paper on this island. It seems to be a natural resource, you know, definitely not things that I got from my parents' garage and my dad helped me build to play in the backyard. No. It all came from this island, Pluto. So I made this cardboard fort just so he'd have a base here on the island. And yeah, this was also a lot of fun to build. I know I keep saying that, but like I just really had a lot of fun doing this island. And again, this felt like getting back to my roots. You know, if you know, you know. I had so many cardboard forts back in the day, so it was fun to like do a new one and, you know, do some like new codes for it as well. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. So that's my base. So then let's head down this way, and we've got another cute little build that I did. Oh, also, okay, before we get into it, these butterflies, this is why I left a net, because me personally, the butterflies just kind of take me out of the fantasy of this whole thing being like a planet, and it makes it feel like, oh, I'm playing Animal Crossing, I'm on an island. So before I take photos, if there's butterflies, I always catch them so they're not in the photos. Although the other day I was showing this island to my boyfriend, and they were saying that they really liked the butterflies, and they said they were like, oh, it's like they're aliens. And I was like, oh, okay, well, so you know, if that's your truth, if you vibe with that, if you like the butterflies, you're free to leave them. If you're like me and it takes you out of it and you want to catch them before you take your pictures or whatever, you have the net. But yeah, this is another one of my favorite builds here on this island. It is this little like cardboard rocket ship. I thought it was a good place for like a little photo, you know, a little photo opportunity as well. But yeah, I don't know. I really liked this. I liked how it turned out, and I hope you do too. So there's that. And then let's see. Yeah, just kind of decorated here. Just some stuff, blah, 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 whatever. If you go this way, where all of this like glowing moss stuff is, the stools and the boulder, this is an area I call the wilds. This is supposed to be like the natural terrain of the not the island, the planet. And this is like where there's all the like, you know, nature, all the wild animals, creatures that live here, the aliens. So I've got these cardboard aliens around here, and then you'll see I'm also using gyroids as aliens on the island as well. So this is like pretty big and sprawling. I just wanted it to be like a big open sprawling space that you could kind of explore and get lost in. So it's easy to like, I don't know, it's easy to like take a wrong turn and whatever, but it's also easy to get in and out of. I'm not like, it's not like a maze. You're not going to get trapped, but it's fun to run around and explore. Lots of photo opportunities here. Yeah, let's see. Let's go back up here. Okay, we've got this tiny little spot. This is a spot where I imagined he's working on his like designs and making his forts and things, you know, imagining what the aliens look like and, you know, drawing up what a rocket ship would look like. How can we make it out of cardboard? And then over here, this is, okay, so this is, we're like back directly above the crash site. This is like a small little playground I made, and you'll see the aliens I've got here playing on the playground. They're harmless. They won't attack you, so don't be worried. I've done lots of research during my time here on this island, and have discovered that they seem completely uninterested in humans, so don't even worry about it. But yeah, just this little playground. And then, let's see, yeah, over here to the right, we've got a few cardboard designs. I did a bunch of different cardboard rocket ship designs for this island. These are my favorite codes I've ever made. I had so much fun making these. I think they're really cute. There's like lots of different ways that you could make your own little cardboard rocket ship. I posted not all of the cardboard rocket ships are on the island, but I posted all of them on my socials. I'll put them on the screen here as well so you can see some of the others. But I would love to see if anyone uses these codes. I would love to see how you use them. If you make a rocket ship in a different way than any of the examples I showed, like there's so many ways that you could do it with other items. I'm probably ways I haven't even thought of yet. So I would love to see what people do with these if you use them. So if you do, I'd love to see, please tag me in it. But yeah, this is just like a little area. I imagine he's like working on, you know, different prototypes for a rocket to get me back home. I'm stuck on this planet and I need to get back home. So, you know, he's trying to build something that'll take him back home. Let's see. Oh yeah, you can go up on this shipping container. To be honest, I don't really know why. Most of them I didn't make so that you could climb on top of them, but I did with this one for some reason. So you can do that if you want. If your heart desires. Let's see. So yeah, like just lots of, you know, little outer space planet vibes. A lot of this island I feel like is pretty just like open and it's a little repetitive, like, but that's kind of the vibe of like, I don't know, a planet, right? It's like, it's just like big and open and there's all of this stuff and debris and I don't know, these asteroids and stars and everything. So there's lots of little spots. I think it's really cute to just like take photos, like of a tiny spot and you like really zoom in and like running around, like, I don't know, there's a lot of, it's just really vibey. Again, not to toot my own horn, but toot. I don't know, I just really like running around here. And yeah, that's kind of why there's not like a ton of, like I said earlier, I don't know, there's not a ton of like actual like spots or whatever, but there's a lot of, you know, decoration and there's a lot to see, even though there's not a lot of like landmarks, if that makes sense. Yeah. So then over here, our last little area on the planet, if you go down to the bottom right corner, you'll see a bunch more shipping containers popping up. And if you come around, you'll discover this research lab. So this, in my head, I imagine this is like, I discovered this on the island and this suggests to me that there were humans here before. You know, I'm not the first astronaut to be here, but if you go in, it's clearly abandoned. There are no people left, and it seems like maybe it was left in a hurry. There's a lot of stuff on the floor. There's some junk. Like, I don't know what's going on. What happened here? We don't know. But yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I just decorated this. And then our last spot truly of the island, if you come back here and climb up on this shipping container, we have another photo opportunity. So again, like if this is like a research lab, this like space station, I imagine, you know, the humans that were here were building spaceships and whatever. So they need somewhere for them to take off and to test them. And this is where that is. So this is a good lookout place. So if you want to get a photo of this, you're going to come climb up this shipping container, sit in the cardboard chair. Then you're going to open your phone. You're going to go all the way up. You're going to tilt the camera up and zoom all the way in, and then get up, or you can sit there if you want to. You can be standing here watching, but you know, move off to the side, and you've got this rocket taking off that you can take a photo of. Yeah, there it is. I don't know what to say. But yeah, I don't know. This is Pluto. This was my outer space Kidcore planet island, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, like I said, I'll put the dream address again on the screen here. If you want to visit, please do. If you take any pictures, please tag me in them. If you use any of the codes, please tag me in them. I would love to see your photos. I'd love to see how you use the codes. Yeah, but I had a ton of fun working on this island. It was, I don't know, it was such a joy to work on, and it really made me like fall in love with the game again a little bit in a new way, and really inspired me a lot. So much more to come. But yeah, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoy this island. I hope that you visit, and I hope that you have a great day. Thank you. Bye.